The Chaser Report is recorded on Gadigal land.
Striving for mediocrity in a world of excellence. This is the Chaser Report.
Hello and welcome to the Chaser Report with Dom and Charles. And Dom, let's talk about Twitter.
Let's talk about Twitter, the burning hellscape of a disaster, of a joke, of a... Was it $34 billion?
No, 44.
$44 billion that Elon Musk spends on it. It's certainly not worth that now. We'll talk about why after this. Are you still on it, Charles? Do you still use it much?
So they said that Twitter was rate limited over the weekend. They said, you're only allowed to view 600 tweets a day or something. I don't know whether it's because I don't look at 600 tweets a day or it's just sort of lost all interest for me. I don't know why. I don't know whether, because I just couldn't see it. Did you get limited at all?
Yeah, absolutely. It was really annoying because the peak of this Elon Musk stupidity came during the Johnny Bairstow thing. Oh. So there were heaps of tweets going on. I was tweeting. I was getting a massive number of replies. And when this all happened, I couldn't see any tweets at all. I could see the odd reply to me and reply to them. But it was like living in this weird little bubble of only hearing your own voice. So in other words, it's what Elon wants to do on Twitter.
Yeah, right.
The entire thing was basically broken during one of the most enjoyable sort of periods of trolling the British, which was totally ruined. And as with all these things, this was partly an attempt by Elon to get everyone to use his stupid new Twitter Blue thing, which everyone is determined not to do. Unless you're basically a right-wing nutter who is Team Elon and wants to basically argue with libtards, you don't want to pay for the stupid thing. I used to pay for Twitter. I used to actually pay for Twitter Blue because I thought, it's cool that you do edit your replies and stuff. But since Elon took it over, I've refused to pay because he sucks. So, yeah, it basically is even more broken than it was before. But you've been doing some digging as ever.
Yeah.
You know what's going on.
So I want to tell the yarn that led us to the place where a social media network, which relies on people viewing things like
in real time,
it relies on the more views, the more advertising revenue it gets, to come up with the model of let's not do that anymore. Yeah. Let's just block people from using our network. And it goes back about a month, right? So Linda Yaccarino was appointed CEO early June, right?
So following Elon doing a poll on Twitter where he said, do you want me to stay as CEO or not? Thinking everyone would say, of course, we love you. And he lost that poll. So he had to step down. He's now Chief Technology Officer, but it doesn't matter because he still owns it. He can do whatever the fuck he wants.
So the thing about this CEO character, Yaccarino, is that she is a Madison Avenue big hitter. She's basically one of the biggest, most trusted advertising executives in America, in the world, really.
Sure.
Right? So, if you're IBM or AT&T or really boring, even Coca-Cola or something like that, you go, oh, yeah, Linda, we love her. She's so boring and reliable, right?
She'll deliver us our boring product placement that we want and pay a premium for.
Because what she used to do was she was the head of advertising for NBC Universal, one of the largest media corporations in the world, right? Yeah. So she comes across and she's CEO. Now, I don't know where to put this in the yarn, but let's just put it right now, right? So she was brought on board to make advertisers feel safe on Twitter, right?
Which they had stopped doing.
Yes.
Because Elon basically turned it into a right-wing hellscape full of climate deniers and January 6th deniers and so on. And so they all left en masse. Yes. And so all the revenue just died, right?
That's right. Like Elon literally said, let's bring back the Nazis. A whole lot of Nazis then came back, and then all the advertisers went, oh, we don't want our ads next to Nazi content.
It was Twitdilmark, basically.
Yeah, that's right. Anyway, so tiny problem with this appointment, right? Just tiny, just little. I mean, never let it be said that Elon is not a details guy. She had a non-compete clause in her contract with NBC, which means, and that non-compete clause was just basically saying, look, you can go and get another job.
Sure.
But say you were to head the advertising for some other company, you're doing that job here, you're not allowed to close any deals or talk to advertisers at another company for a period of time after you've left our company. Because
Pretty standard stuff.
you're basically taking the relationships you've built here and putting them somewhere else. So the point is, she's been brought on board, but she can't actually meet with any advertisers. She's legally not allowed to meet with any advertisers.
Which is probably fantastic for them, because it'd be probably awkward if she rang them up and said, "Oh, hey, Apple, I now advertise with I now run Nazis Are Us. Do you want to get on the Mein Kampf space?"
Yeah, no. And so advertisers about 2 weeks ago, this is a couple of weeks after she was appointed, they have one meeting once a year where all the big advertisers get together. It's in Cannes in France. It's called the Cannes Lion sort of
they have the awards
event.
and all that sort of stuff. Yeah.
And she didn't even go. She was legally unable to go because she wouldn't have been able to bump into anyone. So instead, she stayed at home and tweeted out going, "I'm really here to hear all the gossip from Lion," right?
Wow.
That's how sort of pathetic it was. Anyway, obviously that won't last forever. At some point, she'll be allowed to start cutting deals. But in the meantime, all she can do is sort of go, "Look, I know I'm not allowed to talk to you, but just general vibe-wise, Twitter's reliable now. Twitter, you can come back to Twitter.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's reliable."
We now have 5% fewer Nazis than in Elon's prime.
Yep, that's right. So just general statements of thing. And then over the weekend, Elon goes, "Okay, bit of a change of plan. Let's just cut everyone's ability to actually visit the website," right? And so the first thing he does is he goes, "Okay, what we're going to do is anytime anyone's not logged into Twitter, if they get sent to our website, instead of seeing the tweet that they've clicked on from somewhere else on the web, we'll just send them to a login page," right? And you go, "Oh, well, that's fair enough. That's what Facebook does as well." You can sort of sometimes see.
Yeah, it's annoying.
It's
just sent to a Facebook link and you can't actually see anything except the login page.
You can sort of understand why he did that. It's like...
No, but except that on every news site in the world, people used to embed tweets. They used to basically put a live link to the tweet where you could click on it and go to Twitter.
Yes.
So it was massive marketing for his platform that he's trying to sell ads on.
Absolutely.
And it made Twitter basically part of the conversation everywhere, and he just turned that off overnight.
So there are a lot of conspiracy theories about why he had done this all suddenly. Yeah. One of them was, so you might have noticed that it went from June to July, right? So it's a new financial year.
Oh, yeah.
Or whatever. And his Google Cloud contract expired on the 30th of June, right?
Yes, that's right.
There was a lot of conspiracy theories about how he basically... because he dropped his Google Cloud subscription, right? He went, "Oh, Twitter's not going to be run on Google Cloud anymore. We don't need that type of reliable.
We don't need a reliable premium service. Yeah.
We can run it on this DOS machine that I've got."
Yeah, he's got one Tesla's probably brain just running the whole thing now.
So there was a lot of conspiracy theories that actually he just wanted to cut down on the amount of traffic that we got, because it was sort of like having Lebara, which has 4 gigabyte data plans. Where you basically
the cheap phone network.
Phone networks where you sort of watch every kilobyte.
Yeah, because if you're running Twitter, the one thing you don't want it to be is vastly popular because it's expensive.
Yeah. No, exactly. It's very expensive to run. But remember, Elon's not making any money at this point. He's feeling like, well, all these people looking at my network, they're just a burden. They're just costing me money.
Yes. The massive popularity and user base of his social network, the thing that Twitter spent many years trying to build, he now sees as a negative because they're not paying.
Yes, but actually, on further digging, it appears that conspiracy theory is not true, because Reuters actually reported that no, Elon did in fact pay his Google Cloud bill. So he closed that out, and he doesn't have Google Cloud anymore. But it's not like Google's punishing him.
I mean, there were many bills that he didn't pay, right? For real estate and stuff like that. Like the Sydney office, I think he closed and didn't even.
Yeah, and so I mean, look, it's not verified, but there's sort of.
I've read some of those rumors. Yeah.
There's a new theory which an engineer has raised, which is that actually a lot of what he also did a couple of weeks ago is he raised massively the price of actually having an API key to Twitter, which basically means if you're a little coder or programmer, you run programs or bots or something like that, you can pay a bit of money and get access to the sort of fire hose of all the data that Twitter has, right? And it went from being a few $100 a year or something like that to $42,000 a month. right? And one theory that the engineer that I was reading said is that actually probably what happened is a whole lot of people went, oh, fuck this, I'm not going to buy my $42,000 a month subscription for a subscription that apparently keeps falling over anyway.
Well, of course it does. It's Elon.
Yeah. Instead, what I'll do is I'll just go and do data scraping. I'll just actually use the fact that there's open access on the web. I'll just scrape all the data from there. And so the data scraping side of Twitter completely spiked.
Yeah.
And so Elon had to do something about it.
So it cost him far more money, obviously.
Yes, exactly.
So as with all these things, he tried to make money.
Yes.
But instead massively lost money because he's an idiot.
Yes, that's right. So he's managed to get rid of the data scrapers. At this point, he's got this little page that he's put up to flick everyone over to log in, right? At this point, what happens is Twitter just goes down. Saturday morning, it just stops working for everyone right, in the world. And after a bit of scraping, some bright fellow on Reddit actually works it out that actually what Twitter is doing is its own DDoS attack, its own distributed denial of service attack, right? So what was happening was by flicking everyone who wasn't logged in over to their login page.
To the one login page.
It was then generating a whole lot of, automatically generating like 10 calls per second per user who was doing that. Referencing itself. Like it was in this loop of trying to get them to log in or whatever. And so it created the first ever recorded, massive cyber attack that was entirely, like it's literally the first own goal of a massive crash.
That's great.
Across the internet.
So they took themselves down.
Yeah.
So in other words, the chief technology officer, and this is consistent with what everyone said, of Twitter has no idea how Twitter works or how to fix it. And basically, whenever he tries to do anything, he breaks it in a new way. How extraordinary. I mean, he also, at one point, limited external apps. So I used to use an app called Tweetbot to access Twitter. It was great. And these people had spent all these years developing this platform, and he just switched it off one of these days. He just switched it off and denied it. So it's becoming a space where you can only use it if you pay his stupid Twitter Blue. And also TweetDeck. I don't know if you're going to get to this, but TweetDeck, which is this very popular service, web-based interface for looking at a whole lot of different kind of Twitter searches at the same time. It's really sort of a pro tool. He's turning that off in 30 days unless you have the stupid Blue account, which has ruined Twitter, because what happens under any post, and this happened to me the other day, is that when the Twitter Blue ticks get onto it, all of their stupid asshole tweets get put at the top of every thread. So I just did this just random pointless observation. It wasn't in any way interesting. I had just explained to my daughter why her teachers weren't called Miss whatever. They were called Ms, right?
Yes.
And I just was like, oh God, it's so stupid the way women had to have this sort of marriage-based system. Like, what a stupid thing.
You're defined by your relationship to your man.
That's right. That's exactly right. And I started out getting replies going, yeah, it's shit, isn't it? And then all these people were like, have you heard of Ms? And I'm like, yes, that was the point. But then the blue ticks got onto it. And I started just getting, somehow, it's up to about 100,000 views now, this tweet. And it's just full of fuckwits who've just somehow found it and gone, oh, you're not tweeting about anything very interesting. Well, no, but you're tweeting about the... And all these people patronising me and basically saying that I'm a cuck, right?
Yeah.
And it's just horrible.
But in fairness, I see that as one of the advantages of
the new
Twitter.
So that's right. So
to victimise Dom.
The experience has been, it's great to have a tweet go viral, but what happens is just about any tweet now that goes viral at all, their algorithms ferry it onto the for you thing rather than the people you subscribe to.
Yes.
So people who don't subscribe to you come and basically troll you for days on end. It is shit.
Yes, and apparently, actually, it's now very hard for newer users to actually find good content, right? Because basically the algorithm is prioritizing shit, blue, low-quality content ahead of everything.
From people you would hate. From the kind of people who, if they said what they said at a dinner party, you would just be like, that person sucks.
But the other thing that's reducing the discoverability is that over the last 2 days, Google has started removing all its search engines links to Twitter.
Oh,
right?
wow.
So in the past 2 days, and it'll probably by the time you hear this, it'll be more than this. But
because they can't access it anymore.
As of 48 hours ago, as of 48 hours into this process, 52% of the links to Twitter that were in Google have gone.
Wow.
And the justification is, yes, it's not at the open web. They're not part of the open web now. So it's a shit experience. If you search for a tweet,
yes,
and you click on it from Google and you're not logged in, you don't see the tweet.
But they generally don't. Google doesn't send you to paywall.
Yeah, to paywall content.
Or registered content.
Yeah.
So the main discoverability system
Yes.
on the planet, the main way you just...
Or the way you can avoid the blue ticks,
yes,
by going to Google and searching for the high quality content that Twitter doesn't show you anymore, is now completely broken.
Absolutely. I mean, the really sad thing about all this experience with Twitter is that I really wanted to buy a Tesla, and they've just dropped the prices to them, so they're not that bad. Like, if you factor in the petrol, they're almost affordable, right? And we know someone who drives a Tesla, so I won't name and shame them on here, but some fancy pants person we know has a Tesla, and they're still seem lovely cars. But I don't trust a person stupid enough to break Twitter in all these ways with a car that drives on a road and can physically hit into things. It's fine for Twitter to break down. It's fucking annoying when it does, particularly when Johnny Bairstow's being an idiot and he can make fun of British people. But imagine a car where overnight Elon just goes, oh, we'll just switch off the brake system because I'm annoyed about paying my subscription to Google cloud for that system. You just can't trust this idiot.
Well, this is the thing. Like, the Teslas are based on the same business model as Twitter now, which is that you have a subscription to the Tesla service and everything like that. And Elon now has shown his hand, which is that the way he wants to encourage more people to get subscriptions is to decrease the quality of the service to force people to subscribe. So if you buy a Tesla, are you going to be forced to sort of up your subscription
Tesla
over
Blue.
time? Yes, Tesla Blue.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
But,
otherwise, it'll run over your kid.
And it doesn't do that. What it does, of course, is just make you refuse to ever pay this fucking piece of shit any money. Oh, that's basically where I'm at now. No matter how good Twitter Blue gets, no matter how broken free Twitter is, I'm simply not willing to pay. So I'm going to have to be one of these people who goes on weird broken platforms like Mastodon, which I joined, which is just, oh God, not only is it incredibly annoying to use, it's full of all these earnest, annoying people who want to talk about the Fediverse, which is what they call it, and how great it is. And it's not. It's terrible.
Yeah, it's just like Twitter was before.
It's Twitter before anyone interesting you knew was on it, basically.
The Chaser Report. News you can't trust.
It's all right, Dom, because there's hope in sight.
Is someone going to kill Elon? Is he going to have to sell it? I mean,
No. There's a new social network that's going to launch in 2 days' time.
Really?
Heard it here first, yes.
But Charles, whenever they do this, it's like there's someone called Blue Sky. Join that.
Yeah.
No one is on it.
No, I know.
No one's on it.
You sent me a link to it.
There's no point.
And the only person I'm following on Blue Sky is you,
Yeah, and
Dom.
frankly, we talk enough.
No.
Arguably too much.
I don't want to follow you.
No, exactly. So how do you get the rapid scale of Twitter? Like, basically, everyone important is on Twitter at the moment.
Dom.
What do you do?
It's called Threads.
Threads?
By Instagram, right? So Facebook. So it's so funny. Obviously, it's not Instagram, right? It's Facebook. But Facebook has such a bad brand now. Like, Mark Zuckerberg, long ago, Elon Musked Facebook. They're saying that it's an extension of Instagram. But basically, it's a Twitter clone. It launches on the Apple Store in 2 days' time. It's already actually been seen on the Google Play Store in Europe.
Let me just quickly have a look at this.
A couple of places. It's got a really cool logo as well. It looks like a bit like a weird @ sign, right? And so it's going to be launched. It'll be sort of Friday Australian time.
Threads and Instagram app.
And the weird thing is, right, that so it's got all the sort of like it'll immediately have the massive scale that Twitter has, right? Like,
Yes.
everyone will be on it.
Well, if
right?
that, so does it use the same login in as Instagram? Because if it does,
Yes,
if
you
I
can-
can use my Instagram login and
Yes.
then all my followers, oh my God.
Yes.
Are you going to tell me Mark fucking Zuckerberg is going to save us from Elon Musk?
Yes, that's right. And it's also going to federate with Mastodon. So all the fucking wankers who are on Mastodon will be able to interact. It will actually immediately scale Mastodon into something that actually is useful and is not just
now that doesn't seem as good a thing. I mean, everyone you follow on Instagram, which is pretty much the same people by now, or maybe not as many, but most people, just having that without the photos, with text, that's great.
Yeah.
All the Mastodon dorks,
Yeah.
well, that's worrying. But nevertheless, look, it's not Twitter. At this point, that's something that's kind of like Twitter that's not Twitter. How is Elon going to destroy Threads?
Well,
there must be some way. Is he going to buy Meta?
I presume. Well, he'll turn it into a trash fire, but isn't the whole point with social media that you get a few years usage out of it?
Oh, and
they're
then
trying
it'll
to
go to
tempt you
shit.
on there, and then it'll.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's interesting because Facebook is the most boring place on the planet now. I mean, admittedly, this probably reflects the fact that we're middle-aged, Charles, and so that the only things that
TikTok is where it's at, man.
I don't really use TikTok. Am I missing out on?
Yes, you're missing out on the latest recipes.
See, I mean, people said this about what was that thing called?
And it's not just for the kids. Everyone's on TikTok or on the TikTok.
You always love that. Am I really?
You got to get on the TikTok.
I thought it was just basically handing over everything in your life to the Chinese data scrapers.
Yeah, so
it's worth it.
Yeah. Well,
you know what? It's better than Elon.
Yeah,
actually, it's better than Elon.
And it's look, what's a genocide between friends?
All right. Look, frankly, I'm keen to have my views of the Uyghur people reinvented. Sign me up.
Yeah. So anyway, on the one hand, you go to the TikTok. The other hand, you could try this out, this new Threads thing.
Look, it does sound promising. If I don't have to refollow everyone, then I'm there. Because it's fucking annoying on all the other ones.
Meanwhile, there is a new plan for Twitter.
Oh, yeah.
That is about to launch as well. So, you can stay with Twitter and follow that.
What now?
Guess what this plan is? This is the new CEO's plan for sort of getting some revenue back into Twitter, right? They're going to you know how if you click on a video, you can now scroll down the videos on Twitter?
Yeah.
That's the start of a sort of video-only feed.
So they're going to try and be
Instagram.
Instagram.
They're going to try and TikTok it, or Instagram
but
Reels.
But
it,
Instagram already tried that.
Yeah. But guess what the sort of value add that Twitter will have with it, which is, I think, genius, and I think should take us out of this podcast. Like, it is so profoundly just exactly what you would expect. That, like, what is the one thing that's good about scrolling through your phone at 3 a.m? What's the one thing that sort of makes it workable?
I don't know. I'm always very depressed when I do that. Look, I mean, randomness and discoverability. And
no, I'll tell you what the one thing that makes it workable is, Dom, because you're not going in the right direction.
I'm clearly not doing it. Yeah.
It's that it doesn't wake up your partner, right? Like,
oh yeah,
right?
Yes, of course. The videos are muted. The videos are always muted.
That's right. It's always muted. Linda Yaccarino is selling to Madison Avenue, in very general terms because of her non-compete clause, the ability for advertisers henceforth on Twitter to be able to advertise knowing that their videos will always be on, sound on videos in the feed.
Oh my God.
It's going to be perfect.
I must say, I thought the answer was going to be Nazis. I thought that every video was just going to basically be Leni Riefenstahl doing advertising.
But if it is, at least the sound will be on.
You can hear the jackboots marching across Europe. Yeah, I mean, look, I suspect what will actually happen is that Apple will stop them from doing that. But nevertheless, that is shit.
Well, I suppose Elon Musk bought Twitter because he thought that right-wing fuckwits were being silenced.
Yes, he also thought he could make more money out of it.
Well, they're not going to be silenced any longer.
Amazing. Yeah, I must say, until this very informative update, Charles, which I thank you, I had not previously seen TikTok as the less despotic and worrying social network. I'm getting on the talk, people. Follow me on there. Our gears from Robo, part of the Iconoclast Network. Heil Elon? No. Okay. Ni hao, TikTok.